Come on, let's do this. Yes. Massive day. I love Mondays. What's going on, people? Down in the studio. God damn it. Champions. Man City. The blue side. This song goes to the champions in Premiership. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. That's what I'm saying, people. The blue side, the champions. Without kicking the ball, they're already champions. Oh my goodness, look at this. I say I'm so sorry. It is what it is. Welcoming everybody onto this show. You don't need to build it. Smash it like on the video. Come on, people, let's do this. This is the way we do it. This is how we rock. This is how we rock it. Let's get the show cracking. I'm in the studio, people. Hey, come on. Yes. Oh. I love this game. The champions. Come on. Big up to everybody joining us on this show. It's called Monday Sports Review Show. You know what I mean? I'm not always in the studio alone. On this show, I got great people behind me. I call them ISQ gang. Hey, what's going on, bro? Your life. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, good evening, The Don. It's great to be back. We saw a really interesting weekend of football across all the leagues. We saw Man City obviously become crowned champions. We saw them leave the title on Sunday yesterday. We saw Nottingham Forest secure their Premier League safety by beating Arsenal on Saturday. We saw several interesting results in the battle for survival, and I guess we'll go into all that today. So I can't wait to get started.
All right, bro. Welcome once again, bro. It is what it is. Kunle also will be joining me live all the way from far that place. Beautiful city. I love that city. Oshodi, Lagos. Beautiful city. Massive city. MC Oluomo city. Bro, what's going on? You're laughing.
Good evening, The Don. Good evening, Jay. Good evening to everyone around. It's nice to be on the show once again. And what a weekend of football it has been. Manchester City are champions again. Like,
man.
For how many times? Aren't we tired?
Me, I'm tired. Oh, I don't tire.
I want to see another champion.
But the way the thing is going, it seems this guy is just. I don't see who is going to break that.
No,
I don't know.
You know, as much as Guardiola is a genius, okay, like, and I think that's why he has been the standard of football ever since he came onto the scene. Like, you know, that's why some people consider him the greatest manager, because the way he has reinvented football, he has been phenomenal, you know. Absolutely. And you know, one thing I like about him is he pays attention to detail. You see, that's why when people say he buys players, he doesn't just buy any kind of player. He buys players that fit the profile. He's looking for something, and he will do anything to get that player. Now, he might not get the player that he wants. Like now, for instance, I don't know if you are aware that Harry Maguire was linked with Manchester City when he was at Leicester.
Yeah.
But because his price was too much, that was why Manchester United went for him. Now, they ended up going for, was it not a Ruben Diaz? And hasn't Ruben Diaz turned out to be the better option? So, you know, he's someone who pays attention to detail. And, you know, that's why everybody just tries to see how they can, you know, try to get the better of him. And, you know,
all right.
It's worked for him, and congratulations to them nonetheless.
All right. Before, let me welcome everybody again. Okwes right there with us. Prof is also live. What's going on, people?
Okwe the wounded lion.
Yes. Prof, what's going on?
Good evening, Dr.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening,
All right, let's get this show started.
Finally,
It is what it
finally,
is. Finally,
the
finally.
trophy has landed.
All right, let's.
Congratulations to Man City.
I tell you, once again, let's get this show cracking. I think let's look at the talking point for today. But before we go into the talking point, please, if you are watching us for the first time, this is Intercontinental Sport TV. This is how we do it. It's going to be, I think, it's going to be second to the last show of the season, because by next week, Sunday, I think the EPL is going to say bye bye. Now we'll be looking up towards another season. So it's been a massive journey so far. It's been fantastic. But let's quickly look at the talking point. Then we'll be right back, people. All right, people, champions of all champions. I'm talking about this great team, Man City. At some point, I was looking, I think I was talking to Prof one day. I said, I think we're chatting. I said, I still believe Man City will still catch us now. I don't know. 8 points clear. I mean, at some point, I think it was in March, 8 points clear. I mean, it was like they are running away with it. I don't know what is just all over me. That I just believe Man City will get these people. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. They are champions. You can see Gundogan lifted the trophy yesterday. It was a massive day for Man City. 3 times in a row. We are going to talk about this club first. Sheye Omiodiora, please, is there any way you can express or you can use superlative words to describe this great team called Manchester City? Sheye, over to you, please.
Well, I'm going to try. I think this is their 5th title in 6 years.
Yeah.
They've now won 3 in succession. Only Sir Alex Ferguson has been able to do that in the Premier League era. Although I think he did it twice. I feel you and Kunle might be in the better position to clarify that stat. But I think Sir Alex did it twice with Man U, winning 3 PL titles in succession. So
Yes,
the reason why I liked this particular one was because, and I know Prof will bring his Arsenal agenda and Arsenal dislike here, but I feel the reason why I feared for them this season was because they had several issues, apart from just trying to fit in Haaland and try to play with him and find the best way to get the best out of him and find the ways to actually get him to play well with his new teammates. They also had issues with several players who left in the summer. Sterling wanted a new challenge. Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. They had to bring in new players.
Yeah.
I think Silva, Bernardo wanted to leave, but he just couldn't secure a move away. During the season, we saw them get several weird results. I think up until this recent winning streak, they didn't actually win more than 3 games in a row. They struggled with their consistency. And there was a time when Pep even got mad at his players for not wanting it as much as Arsenal. I think that was in January or February, where he called them out in a press conference. He had issues with Kevin De Bruyne at several.
Cancelo or something. There was
Exactly, Cancelo, which led to Cancelo's departure on loan to Bayern, and I don't think he's going to return to Man City in the summer. I think they're going to sell him. There were issues with Kevin De Bruyne, with Cancelo. He struggled to find the balance because earlier in this season, they kept conceding goals in transition on the counter attack. So he more or less found a new strategy mid-season, and that's what got them to go on this winning run. And I think after a defeat against Southampton in the Carabao Cup in January or February, that was when Gundogan more or less said the team had lost something. So it wasn't as sure as Prof tries to paint it that they were going to win the league. They actually had several issues, but for some reason, Pep, and let's not forget the pending charges against them, which I actually think Prof is right on that one. It actually got the team to have this siege mentality, because all they just had to come together, and then they were able to find the balance with Pep more or less more changing in approach mid-season, going to this 3-2-4-1 formation that they've used in recent months. I think we more or less saw this in the offing when he began playing Rico Lewis. I think that was in December or late last year. But I think they even more or less perfected that with John Stones coming in, where he more or less comes into midfield and when they have possession. So they've done well to actually adapt to several issues, and they really deserve this one because I think the way they saw the season, they felt that they needed to win.
Yeah.
Maybe it needed to be perfect to actually go to actually match Arsenal's results, because they felt Arsenal were relentless, and we all know Arsenal more or less faded. But I feel Man City just they turned the screw at the perfect time, and really they deserve this title win.
Yeah. Straight up, Prof, I'm coming to you straight up. What do you think about Manchester City this season, 2022 to 2023? What's the difference between every other competition they've won? I'm talking about the EPL. But this season looks somehow strange, when we see Arsenal, fighting toe-to-toe with them. Prof, what's your submission on this Manchester City win?
They are just a phenomenal side. I was watching, looking back as I was watching Pep Guardiola's first press conference when he landed, in Man City, and there were talks that he couldn't do it. He couldn't replicate what he had done in Bayern, Barcelona and Bayern. I'm talking about the playing style here, and he couldn't do it. But then, first season he had a wobble, and then ever since then he hasn't looked back. 5 Premier Leagues in 6 seasons. It's just a phenomenal manager with his playing style, reinventing the game over and over again. He's just a genius in the making, to be honest, And beginning of the season, when I said Shea is right in saying they didn't start, the way we all expected. They had a wobble, they were drawing games. The playing style wasn't as eye-catching. Some people will tell you they were struggling to fit Haaland in, which I at the time found ridiculous, because this was a player who kept on scoring goals. And for me, as far as I was concerned, no matter how they go, no matter how they do it, as long as he scores goals, I felt like it was just a ridiculous thing to say. But at the end of the day, Pep, went back into his thinking room, looked for a way out, John Stones in the middle, middle the loads.
Can you imagine in the middle?
Nobody is always a step ahead. I was listening today again when people were talking about him. Arteta said he's always a step. He knows what's going to happen 10 minutes before it happens. That's why they call him a genius. That was from Arteta. He reads the game. He knows what's going to happen 5-10 minutes. He says nobody sees the game the way he sees it. He's a perfectionist. And so for that, he looked at it and found out that, okay, if I have to get the best of Haaland, who is not the best at dropping deep and playing with the boys, let him be there. It takes 2 defenders to occupy him in Haaland. So then he does his job that way. Push Gundogan and De Bruyne up. But obviously, you cannot leave Rodri alone in the middle of the park, because then you'll be light. And he said, what can I do? Push in John Stones, who he has improved tremendously, as a ball-playing centre-back. Pushed him to go and join Rodri. That way, they are not short in the middle. And then Akanji, I keep saying it. When he signed Akanji last season, there were high leads. High leads were raised. I was like, what does it mean Akanji for? You have Laporte, you have Diaz, you have Stones, you have 4 centre backs. At the time, you had Walker and Cancelo. Nobody saw it coming. That what was Akanji's use? Akanji was offered to different clubs at the time. Nobody took him. And then here is a man, Pep, who read the future, went to get Akanji, improved him, and look at what the boy came in to do. Same thing with Nathan Ake, watching from Bournemouth, improved him. He has now a stable backline, which was very strong. I was telling Kunle at the time, I said, I don't see this man tinkering. I said, once he settles on his formation, at the time that Shea was talking about that they were having a wobble, to be honest, Pep hadn't settled. on the formation. It was benching Ruben Diaz. There was a time De Bruyne was on the bench. There was a time Kyle Walker and Cancelo on the bench. He was using the young Rico Lewis. So there were times that he hadn't settled, and I saw it. I said, this team has a run in them. It is usual for Man City to have a 12, 13, 14, 15 streak. They do it every season, and that hadn't happened at the time. And I said, if it brings back the bingo, I said in the group, bring back your big players, settle them in the team, the likes of Ruben Diaz, De Bruyne, get the system working, and the man found a way. And since then, he hasn't looked back. So it's just a tremendous coach. The difference between this one and the other ones is, I actually felt like this season Arsenal had a chance. To be honest, Arsenal had a chance because, look, Man City are the best team in the world. Let's make no mistake about it; they are the best football inside. But
Absolutely.
they had given Arsenal, a healthy gap. I mean, it's never been done before to be on the table that long, on top of the table that long, and not to win it. So for me, I feel like this is special for Man City. We should forget the fact that it's Arsenal. They had a healthy gap. They were on the table for as long as they could be, and yet Man City came back chasing. I looked at the fixtures, and I'm sure Didon did the same thing. And I saw in the fixtures that, look, Man City had games to play. Arsenal still had difficult games to play. Man City will still play. At that time, they hadn't played Arsenal home and away. And so I read that already in my mind. I counted that as 6 points down already, because I knew it. Because the way City were playing, once they clicked, I knew it was an home and away beating for Arsenal. And when you take 6 points out, with the mentality that the Arsenal players have, been young players and coming up, they were never ever going to be able to stand with City. So I think that was where Man City edged it on them, and it was always going to happen. So they are just a tremendous side. I am just now very worried. This is the moment I turn my back against Man City. I wanted them to win against Arsenal because they were my arch rivals, but this is the moment where I said, this is the moment where I turn my back completely against Man City, because now they are beginning to turn our league into a farmer's. We cannot let it happen. We cannot let Man City win the league 4 times, on a trot. And I'm afraid, but I see it happening. I know it's too early to call, but I see it happening because these people will not go down. Haaland is just 22. He's just coming to his first season. Ake is the same thing about this first season. Grealish's first proper season. So some of the players are just getting integrated into the system, and they are still very, very hungry. So I think we need to all step up to be able to something else. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that insight. Words from Prof. I'm coming to you, over to you, Robbie, right now. Let me tell you something, Robbie. This man, I want you to talk about this great man in EPL at the moment. Look at this guy.
Tell me something.
This guy, is it becoming uncontrollable at the EPL at the moment? At some point in the EPL, at some point in the EPL was Sir Alex Ferguson ruling, taking care of every businesses in the EPL. But I think at the moment we found another man called Pep. I call him this man, Pep. I mean, is there any time we can stop this guy next season or any seasons to come? Because this guy is grinding it. Anywhere he has gone to Bayern Munich. He won it there. I mean, FC Barcelona, They said 3 times. I mean, is it treble? Yeah. 3 times he won it there. So, with the look of things, go for it. Robbie, what do you think about this great man? This man.
Good evening, guys. So sorry to be on the show late. Talking about Pep. What is there to be said about this man other than the fact that he's one man that anything he does or anything he touches turns to gold? He knows his craft.
I tell you, big up. I think I lost Robbie there. I can't hear him. Kunle, check on him. Is it still there?
No.
Hello, Robbie. I think I lost you there. Can you jump in again? I lost Robbie there. I can't hear him. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me cross over to Okwe Adibari at the moment. Okwe, is there any word you can describe this thing? Because actually, there's this question I want to ask Okwe first. But I want you to explain the exact thing I was asking about this great man. I call him this man, Pep.
No,
Okay,
Pep,
go for it.
Pep is legendary. Pep
Ah,
is a revolutionist of football. Let's just keep it that way. I'll give him his due credit because he's a phenomenon. That's just the truth. Many players under him have said that he's obsessed with football, and I think you can see this translates through his teams. And the truth is that this Premier League victory by Manchester City, first of all, it's what I would describe as the three-peat. They've won the Premier League 3 years back to back, and that speaks volumes. But this victory in particular is so important because I believe this victory is majorly down to Pep Guardiola. I say that because just like Shea and Prof had already mentioned, before the start of this season, they had issues. Sold Jesus, sold Zinchenko, and Fernandinho had retired as well. And then, they brought in Haaland. They were trying to figure out what works for them. First things first, the last week of the transfer window was when Man City were able to sign Manuel Akanji and Sergio Gomez, who obviously hasn't played a lot of games, But then again, while trying to find the best way to fit Erling Haaland into the team, Pep eventually came up with a new brilliant tactical plan, that three at the back. And I think what I love the most about it is how he has improved John Stones. I'm not saying John Stones was never a ball-playing centre-back. I'm not saying he didn't have those qualities, but I'm saying that John Stones has taken a step up, and that's just the truth. And what I love about Pep is that he's so ruthless with his players. You need to do what he says. You need to respond to his demands. That's why Ruben Diaz did not play a lot of games. That's why João Cancelo left in January as well, because Cancelo was not given that optimum. He wasn't giving the optimum performances that were needed. Cancelo was very was very inconsistent before the World Cup. Cancelo went to the World Cup and even had issues in the Portuguese camp and ended up being benched, and Diego Dallo played most of the games. He came back from the World Cup. Cancelo was expecting that maybe he'll get into the team. The first couple of fixtures were, should I say, light fixtures for Manchester City, and then Rico Lewis was starting. That young chap was starting, born in 2004. He was starting, and I believe Cancelo felt like the game against Arsenal at the FA Cup, Cancelo felt he was going to start. When he didn't start, Cancelo fled up, and Pep said, "Look, you are not bigger than the team. You do as I say, or you can go out." And then Cancelo took the other option to go out. But then again, Nathan Ake as well stepped up. A lot of Man City players this year stepped up. Nathan Ake stepped up. I think Riyad Mahrez has been an underrated player because every game that Riyad Mahrez has played, he has been brilliant, either with assists or goals. And a big shout out to Julian Alvarez as well. It's not easy to have a fellow competitor in Erling Haaland who is scoring goals ridiculously. But every time Julian Alvarez plays, it's the same thing as well. Big ups to Jack Grealish as well. He has stepped up, proving that £100 million signing. And I think one of the most underrated Manchester City players in the history of Pep being at this club has to be Bernardo Silva. His work rate is second to none. He just makes everything tick for that team. And he also made this formation make sense, So, when they are going forward, it's like it's a 3-2-4-1. That's what it's like. And I believe Kevin De Bruyne turned up when it mattered the most. So it's been a brilliant season for Manchester City. I will not say that. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Yes, Arsenal did slip up, but I would say that Manchester City just showed why they are the best. They've shown why they have been dominant for the past couple of years in the Premier League. And I believe very soon they will assert their dominance in the Champions League. They've got a chance to win it. I won't be surprised if Manchester City end this season with a treble.
With a treble. All right, Robbie, I lost you there, but there's this question I'm going to throw to you, Robbie. But first, wait, Robbie. I want to quickly talk to Kunle. Kunle, look at this table right now. Use your naked eyes and look at this table. Is top 4 secured for this one? Okay, let's talk about Man City already there. Arsenal already there. Is top 4 secure for these two teams, Newcastle and Manchester United? Look at Liverpool. 100%. They drop points. What are you saying? Let them look at your face.
I said 100%.
100%.
Yes, sir. I mean, or I don't understand. Or does
okay? Let me look at the league. Look at the league. Look at the league table.
Liverpool is what? Liverpool is not in. Hope you are aware that over the weekend, your club has already admitted that he is open to playing in the Euro. He has already admitted. So there's nothing. Honestly, there's nothing.
All right, there's nothing. So
United
secure.
just need a point. United just need a point.
And they have 2 home games.
Yeah, and it's done. So
all right, that's an adjustment. Well, let me cross over to Robbie. Robbie, I don't want you to go anywhere. Don't carry me go anywhere. No. This moment, right now. All right, Robbie. There are 2 things I want you to look at. I mean, look at this survivor battle. At the end of it all, Nottingham Forest. I think they've edged it, kind of. I mean, if you look at it, am I sure? Yes, I think Nottingham Forest.
Yes, Nottingham Forest are safe. They are safe after they defeated Arsenal.
Now look at this. Southampton already gone. It's now left for Leicester City, Leeds United, Everton. Who do you think is going to make top 4? Look at this question. Who is going to make top 4? And also, Kunle have said it. Who is going to get relegated? Over to you, Robbie.
Well, I think the relegation battle is a very, very interesting one. Very, very interesting one. I still spoke about it today. And for Leicester City, I think Leicester City have a very, very, very important job to do today, and that is to make sure that they do not lose against Newcastle United. And unfortunately for them, I don't know how they are going to more or less survive that match, because Newcastle will do everything in its power to win that game. Newcastle are playing at home, and they are a team that once they click into gear, it is very difficult to stop that team. Very difficult. I never believed that they will find their match against Brighton and Hove being very, very easy. But they were able to dismantle the Seagulls in that game. And coming against a Leicester City side that they have issues in attack, Iheanacho is not fit. Wilfred Ndidi is very prone to mistakes. And of course, there's a particular guy called Faiz. Is a center back for Leicester City. That man is more or less like mistake walking on 2 legs. So I tell you that Newcastle will fancy their chances against this man. It was Faiz that scored 2 own goals for Liverpool when Leicester City met Liverpool. That was in the second half of the season that brought about all 3 points for Liverpool. So it tells you about this young man. He's young and he's very naive. And I think that this is one thing that Newcastle will try to exploit this evening. Coming to the question, Leicester City, Everton, is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. And I believe that the teams that will be relegated will be decided this weekend. That is just the thing. Because even if Leicester City loses today, the thing is they all have one more chance to secure their status on Saturday or on Sunday. So hence why I said it is going to go down to the wire. But for the team that has the best chances, thank you for giving me the table. The fixture. Leeds against Spurs. Leeds can fancy their chances against Spurs that have been abysmal. For Everton against Bournemouth, Everton can also fancy their chances because they are playing out at home. Leicester City, West Ham. Leicester City, West Ham. That is where the trouble is, because you don't know the kind of West Ham team that will turn up on that day. So I think for all the teams, let's just assume that all the teams win their matches on Saturday, on Sunday. It is now left to the goal difference and, of course, other logistics you bring into the equation. So I think we're going to see the last day drama this weekend, and I tell you, it will be heartbreaking for some fans. So for me, to fancy the chances of a team staying up, I think Everton will stay up. I think Leeds and Leicester City will get relegated.
All right. That's it. Good one. Kunle, I'm going to ask you something. This one is a technical question. And Kunle, do you think, let me think about it. Do you think there's a team next season that can stop Man City? Logically. Kunle, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me, Kunle? I think I lost Kunle there. Prof.
Fear the good Kunle.
Prof, can you talk to me? Is there anything you think can stop Man City next season? Because I'm sure Chelsea will come stronger next season. I'm sure of that one. Is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would not lie. A lot of things are going to come strong. Man United need a striker for starters. They need a world-class striker in front. Chelsea need a world-class striker. As far as I'm concerned, and next season we'll see better. I still do not believe that Arsenal can win the title with Gabriel Jesus up front, because I don't see him as a 25 goals season striker. Which I think if you have any chance at all to win the league against Erling Haaland, who is a monster, you have to at least have a striker that will put in 25 goals. I don't think they have that in Gabriel Jesus. Spurs, we don't know what's going to happen with Spurs. Liverpool is another team I think they can do it. I think if Liverpool, they've got a very strong front line, 6 players who can start in Diego Jota, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Roberto Salah, I said Mo Salah, and I think we've got one more and Gakpo. So they've got a strong attack. Okay, so they know what they need. I think they know they need probably a right back, a strong right back, so that they can then push Trent Alexander-Arnold into the midfield and buy another midfielder. So I think Liverpool, with Klopp's experience and know-how, he has done it before, albeit it was a COVID season, which was sort of a fluke, but he's done it. He has stopped Pep once. He can possibly move close again. He has gone very close twice as well. Winning Pep won the league on the last day and with 1 point. So Klopp can certainly do it, but he has to get that Liverpool team firing from day one. So look, Liverpool might be able to do it, but the other teams, I'm really not so sure. Because it takes a very good transfer window. You have to make sure you buy well in the right places, and you have to start on top of your game from the first season, because Pep will not relent. He doesn't relent. And like I said earlier, these players, the core players that went ahead to win this league for him this season, I'm talking about the likes of Nathan Ake. It's his first season that he was a mainstay. I'm talking about the likes of Akanji. I'm talking about Jack Grealish. Players like that. And I'm sure they will still go and buy, because I'm hearing that Ilkay Gundogan might leave, and I'm hearing that he might go to Arsenal.
Go to Arsenal.
Now, that's
Okpa is happy. Okpa will be happy.
So, and I don't understand the dynamics of Arsenal trying to get Man City's players. For me, I still don't understand why that's happening.
That's why I'm going. In fact, okay, hold on, Prof. Sorry, Prof, hold on a little bit. I want to ask Okpa to tell us what exactly the situation, because we've been hearing Gundogan going to Man City. Is that the new waves now for Arsenal to be looking at Man City players? You signed Zinchenko and also Gabriel Jesus. Now the news is all over the town right now about Gundogan, and also moving forward towards that. The question is, I'm going to ask every gent on this show, in which area do you think Arsenal should strengthen next season? So I'm asking 2 things from you, Okpe. Please go for it, please.
All right, then. So first of all, it's not just Arsenal going after Manchester City players. It is Mikel Arteta going after players that he has coached in the past.
Oh,
that's the first thing we should just establish. Now, Gundogan's contract is expiring in June, and he might not want to stay. And why is that? Because it took Manchester City so long to offer him a new contract, right? And then he has probably had his best season ever in terms of goal contributions and honestly, man of the match performances, to put it like that. I'm not trying to praise him. I'm just saying it as it is, because Gundogan coming to Manchester City has had the best spell in his career. While at Dortmund, he was injury-ridden, And his start at Manchester City was not smooth, but he gradually grew into it, and Guardiola has turned him into a box-to-box midfielder. There were many times during the 2020-21 season where Guardiola would go for a tactical option and would not play Fernandinho or Rodri in that holding position. Rather, play Gundogan there in a registered position, similar to the likes of Busquets and Pelé. And it worked many times. In fact, the only time it did not work was against Chelsea in the Champions League final. So Gundogan possibly joining Arsenal is perfect for Arsenal. Why is that? Granit Xhaka is on his way to Bayer Leverkusen. He has a deal up to 2027. The clubs just need to agree on a fee. It's done and dusted. And why is Gundogan perfect? Because Arsenal more or less play the same type of football that Manchester City used to play before Pep switched to the 3 at the back. So Gundogan operating on that left-sided number 8 position is absolutely perfect. He has all the qualities and would help Arsenal greatly. So that makes a lot of sense to me. So now, in what other positions do Arsenal need to strengthen in? Number 1, at that left-back position, I think it makes sense to cash in on Kieran Tierney. Why is that? Because Tierney does not fit into Arteta's style of play.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. So we need another quality player who can always provide competition for Zinchenko. And we all know Zinchenko is injury prone. I was hoping that Arsenal will probably go for Alejandro Grimaldo, who plays for Benfica. But Grimaldo, I believe, is on his way to Leverkusen, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And then the other options like Rafael Guerrero at Dortmund, But I'm sure Arsenal's scouting system did know what to do in terms of that position. Now, moving over, also from that defense, Arsenal need to make a decision. So it's either Arsenal goes for a right back, someone who can provide competition for Ben White, because Tomiyasu is also injury prone, and Tomiyasu is apparently going to be out till September. Wow. So they either sign a right back who can provide cover for Ben White, or they sign a centre back who can also play as a right back, and then have the option of pushing out Tomiyasu to the left side in case they're not able to sign another left back, because Tomiyasu can actually play that inverted left back position effectively. But we all know that Arteta loves to have a left side balance, right? So the likelihood of that happening is probably just a last resort option. It would be good to have someone who can play both as a centre back position and as a right back, because we've seen that now with Yakub Kiwa. Clearly, he can play both as a centre back and as a left back. So it's up to us now. So 2 defenders definitely needed. Going forward, I believe they need to sign 2 box-to-box midfielders. Primarily one person that
can... now?
No, it's not too much. It's not too much if you ask me. Why is that? Jorginho has 1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, Jorginho is there now.
I don't expect Arsenal to.
Una no go still win league. Make una sign the old shooting stars. Una no go still win league.
No, you can always get quality players and affordable players in those positions. In January we tried to sign Caicedo, but Brighton was not having it, and we can see the way Caicedo has been more or less selling himself to Arsenal online. So definitely you expect Arsenal to go back into the transfer market for him. Declan Rice as well. So many reputable journalists have said that, Declan Rice has had a gentleman's agreement with West Ham. It's left to Arsenal to agree a price with West Ham to bring him in. So that's another option. So I am expecting 2 box-to-box midfielders, but 1 midfielder who is primarily a holding midfielder, because we've seen that Thomas Partey can drop form easily. And like I've said before on the show, sometimes he has looked so jaded this season that I'm wondering, I begin to question his age and his fitness, because right now, this season has been his best in terms of injury. So Arsenal have stopped him from those niggling injuries, allowed him to heal properly. But now it's a case of fitness. Going forward,
don't tell me you guys need a striker.
No, we don't need a striker. We need a right winger. We need another winger who can provide competition for Saka. Saka played too many games this season, as far as I'm concerned. He played way too many games. He's just 21 years old. And also, that also affected his form because he needed rest. Look at Man City's squad. Look at the way they're able to rest players and still get victories. I mean, Man City's beat Chelsea 1-0. It's just as simple as that. So they need another right winger. And possibly, they do need another player who can deputize in the absence of Odegaard. I believe Fabio Vieira needs to go to the gym and probably have like a good season in another Premier League squad. I don't think he's ready to make an impact at Arsenal. Emil Smith-Rowe probably needs to regain his confidence, but I don't think there's time there. And then, and if I'm talking about options, rumor also has it that Arsenal are interested in signing Mason Mount from Arsenal, who also has,
I'm sure Prof will be very, very happy to offload him right now, right there.
Exactly. So, Mason Mount is also someone who can fit into
Arteta's system. We've been giving them players like William, David Lewis. We used to give them players that
I'm not a fan of Mason.
Even check.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mason Mount.
Even check.
I'm a fan of signing a player from Chelsea. Before we signed Jorginho, we were 11 points clear. Jorginho joined, and now we lost the That's just
Wow.
banter. But
He
banter,
wasn't
All
responsible. He
all
banter
right,
like
let me move on. Let's move on. Okay, thank you so much. Prof. Okay, let me start with Sheye. I'm sure Chelsea doesn't need any player next season. Amen. Am I right? Let's start.
Okay
Oh,
now.
now you guys don't need it. You don't need to buy anything. I don't want to ask questions. I don't want you to ask Chelsea to tell us exactly which area of position you guys will strengthen next season, because I think by next, is it 2 weeks, the transfer market will open. So I'm gonna go to ask Chelsea. They are okay like that. No need of, am I right, Sheye?
No, you don't. You're wrong.
No. Why?
I think obviously, Chelsea are going to let some players go, or several players leave. We've had several reports that Ruben Loftus-Cheek might be sold to AC Milan in the summer. Players like Kovacic are also considering their futures. I think either one of Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount will be sold. I hope Mason Mount stays really, because I feel he has had a pretty underwhelming season, but ultimately he has been one of Chelsea's, or he was one of Chelsea's consistent players in the last 2 to 3 seasons. So, and I feel he's flexible tactically to play in multiple roles. So I hope he stays. Really, I hope they are able to find an agreement. I said this in January that Chelsea should have signed about 3 or 4 midfielders. I think I said it's either here or elsewhere.
Three
Or
or
maybe it
four.
was yeah, because I feel they are lacking
Kunle,
few
you know, Siam.
profiles.
They
They lack a
get
few
plenty now.
profiles.
See,
They lack.
it just even made me remember
You know,
Fernandes.
in fact, you
Enzo
Chelsea will be
Fernandes is
ashamed.
there.
And no,
Wait, I want to ask you, what's up with Enzo Fernandez?
you see one bad
British
player,
record
Prof.
signing.
It's unfair now. It doesn't make sense to me. You guys should
I
not buy
don't know.
anything.
I think what Shea is trying to say is, I mean, for me, I think, look, I don't think we need as much as Shea thinks we need. 3 or 4, I think that's ridiculous, too much. But we have Enzo, who we signed for a lot of money, but he's not an out-and-out DMF. Remember, we're not going to play in the Champions League, so I think Chelsea just need to get at least 1 or 2 midfielders, and I think they're going to go for either Kai. I think I'm hearing they'll go for Caicedo. So if they have Caicedo, he can play alongside, because Pochettino likes to play 4-2-3-1. So he likes to play with a DMF and a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. So
What
he needs
about
just
Osimhen?
2 on the base. What about who?
Osimhen, Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not heard anything about Osimhen at the moment. What I'm hearing is Vlahovic, but we've denied it. Chelsea they've not offered any money for Vlahovic or TV. I don't like him. I think Osimhen might be a long shot, because 150 million is the asking price, somewhere around that. It's going to be difficult to get the Champions League football. So look, Enzo, in terms of the midfield, before Shea continues, in terms of the midfield, I think we just need one DMF just to support Enzo. And we still have Golo Kante there. We still have Kovacic there. So yeah.
Well,
Shea,
Kunle, Sheye, you still won't continue. Sheye, you still want to continue?
No, I'll pass.
You don't want to buy everything. Wait see now. All right, Kunle, I think Manchester United at the moment, we shouldn't be talking about players at the moment, because we don't know you don't even know the club. I mean, who is going to buy the club? The owner.
Yeah.
So I don't think Manchester, because I keep saying it, there's no point talking about transfer for Manchester United right now. I just laugh about all this rumor. What do you think, Kunle?
Confused club, confused fans.
Go.
There is, as far as Manchester United is concerned, the most talked about club in England and arguably in the world. There is no way there won't be talk about transfers, even if the club doesn't seem to have the finances at the moment, because of the proposed takeover and all. So there must be talks, and I think it is evident that there is need for players. I mean, starting from the goalkeeper, you understand. We've seen David De Gea's flaws.
This guy was going to sign a new contract. Let's forget about goalkeeper. There's a better way to strengthen. It's going for another season, no doubt about it.
Like someone like someone would say, Koguru, Koala.
That's Robbie.
In defense, obviously there is need for there
Kim
is need
J.
for yeah, there's need for a team,
Maguire have sleep.
at right back, probably center back. There is also probably that need because since Harry Maguire cannot be trusted again,
Yeah.
Because we're practically stuck with Varane and Martinez, and we saw when the two of them were out injured. I think that was when United's form started to crumble. Midfield is obvious as well. It is only Casemiro we have in that midfield and Christian Eriksen. There is need for more cover because we need someone who is like better than Eriksen and somebody who can complement Casemiro very well.
Yeah.
Even in attack.
That one is sure. Striker
Well,
is
in that one for that attack, you need to sell because if you don't sell
Yeah.
and you buy, because there are so many players out wide that we have. So some people need to go. You understand? And then most importantly, there is need for a striker because the person we are using as a number 9 is on loan about Vegas.
Vegas.
Anthony Martial, people are not really sure where his position is. Even as a number 9, people are not confident that he is that consistent enough to be a number 9. So there's need for a number 9 that can score goals, and there has been linked with Harry Kane. So when you look at the players, you're looking at United need about maybe 4 or 5 new players, and we don't know, but it all depends on funds being available and who United can offload. Now, the good part about it, a lot of players are going to see their contract out at the end of this season. Phil Jones is going. The likes
don't
of
go already.
By Axel Tuanzebe. There are even rumors that maybe the likes of Fred might even be going. Who knows? We don't know because I think I don't know if Fred's contract is up this season. So they are just even the Gear's contract is up at the end of. He has not signed a new contract, so it's not yet sure. So there's definitely going to be some activity, and we'll wait to see what happens.
All right. Sheye, one more question before we wrap up the show. What is going on in Bundesliga? Sheye, please cover that Bundesliga for us. I'm showing that on the screen right now.
I want to talk about Chelsea.
Chelsea? No. We are not. See,
That's random.
Sheye, my guy is angry, and you need to give him the platform to speak.
All right. you know what?
Don't mind them. There's an agenda against Chelsea. When is Man U?
Sheye, don't mind them, Daddy. Justice for Sheye. Sheye must talk. Oh yeah, Sheye, come and talk.
So I'm just looking at a situation whereby Chelsea. I mean, what are they saying? What are they even buying? It's getting funny. All right, Sheye, please talk to me. What do you? Please conclude what you're about to say the other time before Prof jumped into the conversation. Please go ahead, please.
I love the way you blame Prof for the whole thing.
It was something that you brought to talk about us.
Sorry. All right, Sheye, talk to me. Is it there? I can't hear him. Is it loud and clear or something? I think we lost him. I can't hear him. All right, Robbie. Quick one. Is there anything happening in Bundesliga from your own point of view?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be
yes. It is getting very interesting in German Bundesliga. Last weekend, precisely on Saturday, Bayern played against RB Leipzig at the Allianz Arena, and of course, in the first half, it was looking like as if it's going to be a routine victory for Bayern Munich, only for Leipzig to more or less not read the script like we say it, and of course, they decided to go gaga against Bayern Munich in front of their fans. They scored 3 unreplied goals in the second half, and of course, that threw the whole gate wide open for Dortmund. Dortmund answered the clarion call, like I said. And of course, they defeated Augsburg by 3 goals to nothing yesterday. So Dortmund are on top of the league. Bayern Munich are in second place. 2 points separate both sides, and it is going to be an interesting weekend in the German Bundesliga. That is this weekend when the league concludes in Germany. So the question is, hope there will not be some twists and turns that more or less will tilt the title in favor of Bayern Munich. But ultimately, Sebastian Haller was the man of the match because he scored 2 goals, 2 beautiful goals. And of course, it will be good to see this man that survived cancer get a winner's medal for not just a personal fight in his life, but also his contributions to the success of the team so far this season.
All right, guys, this is how far we can go today. It has been a fantastic day. Big up to Manchester City for winning
I need to quickly ask Kunle. Sorry, please, I have a question for Kunle. Done quickly. Kunle, so what do you feel about Thomas Tuchel now? You were supporting the fact that Nagelsmann was fired and it was hired.
Oh yes, there was a question like that. Yeah,
essentially going to lose the 3 titles that they were in when he came on board. So can you tell us how that has panned out?
I look, it's difficult for me to say because, like I said, it's not as though Bayern were in great form before Nagelsmann went. Now, even though there were like maybe disagreements in the back room and all of that, Bayern's form was not great because, like I said, when was the last time Bayern Munich needed the final day of the season to win the league? They usually start strongly and it continues from there. So I feel if Nagelsmann
how much blame are you giving to Thomas Tuchel? That's my question. How much blame?
I'm not going to.
Because Nagelsmann was in 3 competitions.
I'm not going to give Tuchel any blame because you see, a manager coming in at the period in which he came is going to be very risky. Now, look, don't forget that even though Thomas Tuchel won, the Champions League when he came, Chelsea did not do well in the league. They were terrible, and I think they needed, they needed Leicester City beating Tottenham to make the top 4, if I remember correctly. So it tells you that Thomas Tuchel did not really have that Chelsea squad. He didn't have them grounded as such. So it was always going to be a gamble. So I won't put the blame on him for anything. Bayern's form was not great, and I think they needed to do something about it. So, that's what.
All right, guys. This is how far we can go tonight. Thank you so much, guys. All right, big up to Shaya. Thank you so much for joining us. Kunle, thank you so much for joining us. It is all right. Okwe, thank you so much for joining us as well. All right, one love, bro. And Prof, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Robbie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this evening.
All right. One love, people. This is how far we can go tonight. Please smash the like on the video, subscribe, share this video. These are the shows we have on ISTV. It's been a fantastic season. The season is going to be wrapping up on Sunday. It's going to be a massive day from the game, from all the Europe contingent leagues all over. ISTV Sports Fortes on Monday. Don't forget the same time. And also we'll be dropping also ISTV Sport Banter Corner, a recorded version of this show, ISTV Sports Banter. On Monday like this, please join us next week Monday when we're going to talk about the old scenario that happened in the league of EPL and also other leagues in the Europe. As well on Friday, it's going to be Friday Sports Preview Show as well. This is how far we can go tonight. One love, people. Smash the like on the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are watching this for the first time. Peace. One love. Bye for now.